And we are coming live again on this fine Wednesday. A little bit of news in Cowboy country today. Remember, when you come in, please hit the like button, hit the share button. Go to YouTube, give me a subscribe. That's YouTube at Biscuit, B-I-Z-C-U-T-T. Welcome to an episode of Getting Busy, where we talk Cowboys over here. With that being said, I'm Biscuit, and let's get busy. Hello and good afternoon, good evening, whatever you want to call it. It's late afternoon. How about that? Another long day I spent at work today. Brenda, welcome to the show. Please hit that like button, hit that share button. Let's get these likes up. I appreciate that. Thank you. So, man, I'm going to be only working 4 days this week again. I'm kind of happy about that. We're going to take off this weekend and go to down south for a camping trip. I'm kind of looking forward to that, so I won't be going live on Friday because I'll be someplace where there will be no internet. So I'll probably try to tape a show or something and air it as live, and you guys can still share it and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So today, Cowboys. They signed, they signed one today. They signed one a few days ago, another wide receiver. And we're all talking right now about what happened with Drake London signing this contract with Atlanta Falcons yesterday. And what does this mean for George Pickens? Obviously, people are thinking, well, it's going to reset the market. And no, not really. It's really not going to. Because Pickens is going to set his own damn market, okay? Does it get attention? Of course it does. But this is what I'm talking about, where if Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones don't just get out of their own way and go talk to Mulugeta. A Mula getter is what I call him. Go talk to him and figure out what it's actually going to cost. You won't know till you talk. And then when you see, Drake London get hey, what's going on, Chris? Make sure you hit that like button, hit that share button for me, my man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate that, Brenda. Thank you. But when you see, Drake London get a 4-year deal at $141 million for 4 years with $100 million guaranteed, that's a solid contract. But when you look at you got to look at the fully guaranteed money, the money that it's fully guaranteed, and they're still going to add in the 5th year option or something on that. You just best believe that. So it's not going to look as potent as the media always makes it look, because you got to add stuff like that in. So it's really not going to mean much for Pickens. It's just obviously going to open everybody's eyes. That's about the best way as I can say it. Does it give Pickens a big leverage? No. It's like an eye opener, but far as giving solid leverage, Cowboys still got the leverage here. Why? Because they can actually use 3 franchise tags on him if they want to. Now, I recommend they don't do that, because I would rather them get this deal done by July 15th and let's get this over with. That makes more sense to me than anything. Thank you, Brenda, very much. I appreciate that. So that's not giving a whole lot of leverage to the player, but it does open some eyes. I'm thinking the Cowboys are probably. I'm hoping they can get this done by the July 15th deadline, because and then the Cowboys are also bringing in lots of receivers. I think right now we have 13 receivers. We have 13 receivers, and we're going to have to cut that all down to like 5 when we get our 53-man roster. Bringing in guys like Romello Brinson. This guy is 6'2", 177 pounds, with 4.6 speed. That's going to be developed. The reason why he wasn't drafted, those right there should speak for itself. He played for SMU and he got like 600 yards. He was their number 2 receiver, and of course, playing at SMU, you're going to Cowboys are going to be able to look at you because that's the college that Dallas is at. So I'm not too worried about that. Also, Jaden Smith. I pretty much think that when you look at a receiver core, you're going to look at obviously CeeDee Lamb. He ain't going nowhere. George Pickens. He ain't going nowhere. Flournoy. He ain't going nowhere. But then you got to start looking at guys like Jonathan Mingo, and I think that Jonathan Mingo and Turpin. I think Turpin is pretty much going to be on the roster. Jonathan Mingo probably will be too. Then you got to start looking at guys like Marquez Valdez-Scantling. He's been to so many teams. This is pretty much going to be a camp body, I'm pretty sure. Yes, I did, Chris. Yes, I did. Every content creator today is talking about this right now. So, yes, I did. And also Tyler Johnson. There's a lot of these guys that's just not going to. I mean, we've got a solid wide receiver room if you really look at it. Even the guys that's going to be on the practice squad, like Trayshawn Holding. Yeah, I'm ready to see that kid play. I mean, I know we're probably not going to be able to see him. Only time we're probably going to see him play is going to be at preseason. But I'm really looking forward to seeing that kid play. Anthony Smith. Like I say, a lot of these guys, they're just going to have to be fighting for like special teams and be on the practice squad. But what I can say is there's possibility that Pickens may hold out. I hope not. God, I hope not. That's why I hope the Cowboys will get this done. Get your finger out your ass and get this done. Let's not have all this drama, man. Also, Parsons again is in the news. He sat down at OTAs, talked about how he had a setback on his rehab a little bit. That's going to push him back to around week 5 or 6, which puts him right there in the firing zone of the play. His first game back or so might be with the Cowboys, because I think Cowboys play them in week 6. So that could be a possibility. But, man, I tell you what, he is so sick that he's not in Dallas. He's absolutely sick over it. Because he can't stop talking about Jerry Jones and how everything went down. Every interview the man has. I mean, you would think he would tell these guys, look, I don't want to talk about Cowboys no more. I'm not with the Cowboys. But no, he still talks about being with the Cowboys and how everything went down with him and Jerry Jones. Can we say we're tired of hearing it, man? We know how it went down. You posted about it. You've been on every damn talk show or every damn podcast there can be to talk about it, even including your own. We know you're sick, that you didn't want to leave Dallas. We know that, Micah. I'm a big fan of Micah Parsons. Still am. Still got his jersey. But he's really starting to irritate me, man, with this shit. You know, you the one that went public. You said your goodbyes to the Cowboy Nation that you wanted out of Dallas. I know you were trying to use it as a leverage to get more, to get your money. It's what it seemed like. Jerry called your bluff and he sent you out. Obviously, a lot of us Cowboy fans did not like that idea. I damn sure didn't like it, but at the same time, sometimes you do gotta stand up to these guys. But he is definitely sorry he left because he won't shut up about it. And every damn podcaster, when they sit down and talk to him about him, all they want to talk about is Dallas Cowboys with him. If he truly means what he says, he'd be like, hey, man, look, I'm not with the Cowboys no more. Let's talk about what's going to happen with Green Bay. Now, he did mention that Green Bay's been helping him out with his mental health. Red flag air about going through this trying time with his knee, and I feel for him with all that. And the Cowboys and you are no longer. Let's leave it alone. Stop talking about it. All you're doing is telling us that you still want to be here. Micah, we wanted you here. We absolutely wanted you here. When you mentioned those numbers today, tells me the Joneses wanted you here too. And they offered you $200 million in guaranteed money. That's saying something. But it was over 5 years and you didn't want that. Oh, whatever, man. Just leave it alone.
My entire ass.
The main thing I want to talk about right now is George Pickens. I want him. I just think it's good to get him signed. You know, get the drama over with. But kind of like the idea that we have all these guys competing for a job. It's going to bring the best out of some of these guys, man. We might have somebody that can, come in at a certain kind of plays or something. We don't know. But man, that's a full wide receiver room, man. 13 wide receivers. But like I said, I think we're still going to have our basic guys we're going to have. I've been waiting on Jonathan Mingo. I mean, we gave a 4th-round pick for him, and he's been such a dud, it's unreal. So I'm waiting for him to step up and see what he's got. So far, I ain't seen shit from that dude. Scantling, he's played for everybody and their brother. He's got a Super Bowl, but man, he just travels around everywhere. So I ain't too worried. He's probably just a damn camp body. Most of these guys are. So the main thing I want is get Pickens signed. Get this over with. And stop, Cowboy fans, stop losing your damn mind when somebody gets signed. Pickens is going to make his own way in this league. When he gets paid, he will break the bank. He will get his money. And I don't want and when guys go talking about, well, he's got this attitude that he may just fake an injury or not give 110%. If he decides to do that, then that's on him. Because right now he's worth a pretty good fortune. And if he balls out this year like he did last, he's going to be even more next year if he ends up playing completely on this tag. So I don't see that at George Pickens at all. I think if he plays on this tag, he's going to be out to show somebody something. That's what I believe. I mean, that's what Dak did. Dak played on that tag twice. One time he damn near cost him his leg, man. But he bet on himself and he won. He became the highest paid quarterback and highest paid player in NFL history. And everybody talks about his contract. So his contract this, his contract that, man. Man, go blow a goat about that, man. That dude played his first 4 years as the lowest paid starting quarterback in the league. One of the lowest starting paying quarterbacks in the last 10 years. and he was putting up crazy numbers. Guys that make tens of millions of dollars a year while he's just making a few $100,000. He was putting up better numbers than them guys. So he earned it. Dak did earn his contract. That way, if it's overboard, that's not for us to decide. That's between him and Jerry Jones. I don't own that team, and neither do you. Thank you so much for the likes over there. I appreciate it on TikTok. Please hit that like button, hit that share button over here on Facebook. But seriously, there's going to be, we're going to, it's getting crazy. And and I'd say somewhere his maybe his agent, Moolah Getter, I call him Moolah Getter. He gets his guys paid, so I got to call him Moolah Getter. Dave Mulagata, I believe he probably doesn't want him playing in these voluntary workouts. Obviously, it's going to get us talking because to me, it's like holding out. To me, it is. But at the same time, he's probably thinking, okay, you got to play on this tag. We don't want you to take a chance of getting hurt on something that's voluntary. But hello, working out with his quarterback like we know he's been doing with Dak on his own time is also somewhere you can get hurt. So I'm not hearing that. I think this is all maybe a statement. It's got to be. I'm pretty sure it's a statement, man. Believe that. It's a statement. We'll see what happens when minicamp when they're called in for minicamp here in a few weeks, for mandatory minicamp, should I say? Well, we'll see how that goes. But but when he hits as soon as he hits the field, as soon as he hits the parking lot and he gets out of his car, the media is going to be on him like stink on shit. Question after question after question after question. One probably won't give the man a chance to he had probably to run from to get on the damn field and answer their questions at press time. But they will be all over him, and it's going to be a circus. Get ready for it. It's going to happen. But when it comes to actual leverage, the Cowboys really do have the leverage. I don't like saying that, but they really do, because they can tag him up to 3 times. But each year the tag's going to go up, and each year the cap's going to go up. I'm just so dumbfounded about why you want to keep tagging somebody. I just don't get it. I'd like to have that guy around for the next few years, because I'm not really wanting to go backwards, man. When you got a wide receiver of that caliber and have 2 of them, obviously the talk of the day today is also, can the Cowboys going forward have both CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, 2 high-paid receivers? That's yet to be seen. I think Cowboys are getting ready to clear the books on some dead cap money next year. That's still being held over from guys like Osa Digizua, Trayvon Diggs, and Zach Martin. I think all that gets cleared off the books after this season. This season here, they're still getting paid by the Cowboys. There's dead cap money. I think there's like $16 million coming from Osa Digizua. There's another $17 million coming from Zach Martin. I think somewhere around 7 or 8 with Trayvon Diggs.
Kiss my entire ass.
Guys are not on the team again, and that's dead cap money to the Cowboys. Money they can't distribute out. So that's probably may have something to do with it. I'd say it does. But at the same time, sign him and you still cut the cap in half that you're paying him this year. There's no sense in it. Because he can easily say, okay, we can sign him to about 4 years, hand him a hell of a signing bonus, and he's going to be happy. And you just cut the cap from like $27 million down to like 14 or 15. On top of the 8.3 you're sitting on right now. Edge rusher, what'd you say? There are probably other signings coming up. Drake London. No, he's not as good as George Pickens. He's not. But George Pickens put up good numbers with shitty quarterbacks. His first couple years in Pittsburgh, man, he had some of the shittiest quarterbacks in the league. And he's still putting up 1,000-yard seasons. He comes to Dallas, they put him with a quarterback who will flat get you the damn football. And he put up his career numbers. And I don't want to see Dak have to go backwards, man. Not this late in his career. No. Having these two receivers would be great, but if we can only keep one, then only keep one. Then we got to make a decision which one it's going to be. Obviously, CeeDee Lamb is a fan favorite, and Pickens, all this shit, he's only been here for 1 year. Amari Cooper was on here 1 year, and he got a big contract. That means nothing. He came over here on a show me deal. He showed me he should get the damn contract. Fact. That's the fact. So let's keep our fingers crossed that the July 15th thing does happen, because I'm not going to. I think it can happen. I think a lot of this shit could be smoke and mirrors, and we'll see. I mean, I know they've stated that they're not going to negotiate a long-term contract, and it's just going to be on the tag this year. But thank you, Brenda. That's funny. But what's going on over here on Facebook? I'm not seeing no comments. Come on, guys. You're in here. Talk to me. What you got to say? So, we're going to keep our fingers crossed that they do maybe get a deal done by July 15th, that they do break down and go talk to Dave Mulugata, and they get Pickens signed, and we have our number 2 wide receiver and have our dynamic duo, because I'm really looking right now how good we can get on offense. Obviously, we know what it's like to have those two on the field together with our quarterback and the line that we got and the running game that we got. The offense looks fantastic. Edge rushing on defense would be so much. I mean, I'm going to stay on the max of Dallas. I'm not going to let up. I've been on Twitter just tweeting away at it. Max to Dallas. But everybody calm down about this George Pickens thing for right now. I get it. To me, I think he is making a statement. He does want paid. But has George Pickens put a statement out? He ain't said a damn word that I know of. If he has, put it in the comment box. Let me read it so I can investigate it. But yeah, Drake London got $100 million in guaranteed money, but you got to look at the fully guaranteed though. The money that rain or shine he's going to get, and I think they still got his 5th-year option in on that deal. So he's really not going to start getting paid on it right away. I think I read that today. And everybody's going crazy that it's going to cause this and that for Pickens. And I get Pickens is probably he has every right to be upset. And then when your boss goes public 2 days before the draft and says, "No, I'm not even going to negotiate a contract right now. He just said we're not negotiating a contract. He's going to play on the franchise tag this year." I've said before, that's bad practice. That wasn't right. He would have been best to keep his mouth shut. Like I said last night, London got his contract, and nobody heard a damn thing about it until it was done. But that's not like that in Cowboys world. It's front page and this is that, this is blah 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 blah. It just goes batshit crazy. keep it under lock and key is the best. Stephen Jones should have kept his damn mouth shut, and I'm a firm believer in that. If you're going to make any statement, we'll address that at a later time. But for right now, this is how it is. Don't just go say, no, we're not going to talk about it. He's not getting a long-term contract. He's just going to play on a franchise tag. That was stupid. Don't do that. And then guys thinking that Pickens, because of all this, is going to go out and act like a fool and not, fake an injury or not go out and give 110%. Yeah, he has done some shit on the field. He's never really done anything off the field. His problem is he gets into it with other with the players that he's playing against. I don't think he's going to want to jeopardize the chance of a lifetime. I really don't. They seem to think that he's that they like him at Dallas. He wants to be at Dallas. He's made that statement. I want to be at Dallas. I love it at Dallas. Him and CeeDee Lamb has formed a friendship. Him and Dak has formed a unique combination. Dak and CeeDee's already got it. Now Dak's got another guy out here that he can absolutely dominate with. Good luck trying to catch it, trying to cover double team one of these guys. Then you got an up-and-comer in Flournoy. They're really obviously putting all these wide receivers in the room. They're going to make Flournoy work this year. And to me, I think it's a great thing because I think he's up and coming. He has done some good ball. He has played some really good football. So putting these guys together to make him work harder, so maybe things can pan out for him here in the future. Get a good contract. Who knows? I like the fact that Shotty has said, I'm going to keep competition in the room. I'm going to make guys compete against one another. And to me, that's a good thing. He's living up to what he said. So I can get behind that. Give me something to drink here. Get a dry mouth sitting here just jabbering away. But before I start getting all bent out of shape about Pickens and the fact that he's not at Cowboys OTAs and the fact that all that somebody got a big contract, I'm still wanting to see the Cowboys make that one big play for a edge rusher. That's, to me, that's so important. And with that big signing, with that big trade that happened this week, then we're trying to figure out, did the Cowboys even go for it? Cowboys probably didn't even go for this. I'm not saying they may not have made an inquiry into it to figure out what it was going to cost, but some people think that Cowboys didn't even have the assets to do a trade like that. I say bullshit. They're talking about the next year's first-round draft pick could be frozen because the Jets get the better of the 2 first-round picks. And because we got Quinton Williams out of that. But who's to say you can't make a deal like Landon said today on his little show? Who says you can't make a deal that you get the worst, the lower of the two first round picks in 2027? You're still getting a first round pick. Then you got to add something to it. Obviously, it's going to take more than just one first-round pick to get a Max Crosby to Dallas. It's going to take a few picks. The Cowboys had a first and a second on the table. Obviously, we used those picks in this draft this year. But the second round was coming next year. Who's to say we can't step up and say, okay, we'll give you next year's first and second round? Would you do it for Max Crosby? I know I would. Damn right I would. Get a pass rusher of that magnitude in the Cowboys. We're daring anybody to beat us, man. That's what a trade like that means. And the Rams knew it. That's why they went and got Myles Garrett. They knew it. They know they got a dynamic offense. They know picking up that McDuffie this year and getting Myles Garrett, they just put together a defense. They know it. Do they give a damn about some draft picks?
Kiss my entire ass.
That's what they said to them draft picks. They said,
Oh, hell no.
they don't give a damn. They want proven players. That's how they've been building their team. They won a Super Bowl a few years ago and then put it all back together, and now they're the top team to win Super Bowl this year. And they're in a division again with the Super Bowl champions. Think about that. The Seattle Seahawks is in their division. San Francisco 49ers is in their division. And they're all like, oh, shit. Look at what they got to deal with twice a year now. They got to deal with a damn monster. Will he get 25 sacks a year at his age? Who knows? Will it go on for 4 or 5 years? I doubt it very seriously. But could he do 20 sacks in 2 years in a row? Possibly. And now they're talking about that possible Aaron Donald coming back out of retirement at age 35. And their coach said in an interview yesterday that he thinks that Donald could come out right now and play at a high level at 35. You know, obviously he'd be just on certain snap counts, but they got a monster out there now. And if Cowboys could pull off something like that, man, things would be changing in Dallas. Things could be really changing. But I just wanted to come on and talk about the George Pickens thing and all the you know, Drake London getting his contract and what that means for George. It really doesn't mean much. It really gets it's an eye opener though. It really means that people can do business without putting their business out there, and that calls for some gunfire. Stephen Jones would have been best just to shut his fucking mouth. I'm just going to be honest. Just hush. No sense in saying he could have played it off. We're not going to talk about this at this time. And I could respect that. But not just to come out and say, no, I'm not going to, we're not going to give him shit. And we're just going to make him play on franchise tag. That's not that's not something a boss should tell his employee. Look, you're going to do this, do this, whether you like it or not. That's bullshit. But here's what it is, and that's how it happened. But let's keep our fingers crossed that they can get a deal done by July 15th, and we'll have everybody on the page, and we'll be ready to go in training camp, a full head of steam with the Cowboys at their best and no drama. Let's get past this drama. I think as Cowboy fans, we actually love the drama. I'm going to be honest. If there's no drama, by God, we got to go out and make some. Oh, shit. Drake London just got a big contract. Give the goofy laugh for that. My God. It has nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with what is going on in Dallas. Does it open eyes? Of course it does. But that doesn't necessarily always give the actual leverage to the player. The team still has the leverage. They're the ones that got the money. They're the ones paying you. They're the ones that got you on contract. And they can put him on 3 franchise tags, and if they want. Now, that's playing dirty, and I'm not for that. I think it's bullshit. I don't think they should be using that tag like that to as a tool. Like I've said before, it should be used for other things, like a person that is having some injuries and needs to and still wants to have a shot at proving themselves to get a long-term contract. That's what the franchise tag should be used for. Not as to say, nah, motherfucker, you just ain't going nowhere. You stay here. I get it if you have every intention on signing that player to long term, because that's where you get your happy players from. When they feel they got a financial that they're financially stable and they're financially set for the next several years, and that because those next several years is going to set them for the rest of their life. Not only their lives, probably their kids' lives too. That's what it means. So I get that, and this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You know, wide receiver will never get another this will be the biggest contract he'll get. After this, you know, it'll probably go year to year or so, but there won't be no $100 million guarantee. Nothing like that. Quarterbacks are a different story. They'll get a few contracts in their year. Nowadays, quarterbacks stay quarterbacking for about 20 years. That didn't happen when I was growing up, man. It didn't. But nowadays it is because of the way these guys, and that goes for every player actually. The way they have their training and their supplements and the way they work their body at a young age, so they'll be good at an old age. Look at Dak. Dak's 33 in tip-top shape. When you look at Romo at 33, he didn't look like Dak. Have you seen pictures of Dak and here recently in OTAs? Man, he hits the iron, guys. He stays physically fit. So quarterbacks nowadays, they do continue. I mean, Brett Favre, he did it during a time that it just didn't happen. Aaron Rodgers, though I think Aaron Rodgers is as washed up can be, but it's time for him to move on. But he's still playing. Was it year 17 now he's going into? 18 maybe? Fuck, how long has he been out? I can't remember. I think he's been playing in the league for about 20-some years, but he's been a starter for like 17. I think he set the bench, 3 years behind Favre at Green Bay. So I think it's time for him to move on. It was time for Brady to move on. It was time for Manning to move on. But at 33, quarterbacks are still in their prime. They're still going. Look at Stafford. He just got the MVP last year, and I think he's been in the league now 16 years? Wide receiver, definitely running backs. Running back is a totally different story because they don't even like running back don't even last. Their average running back average is like 3 or 4 years, I think, at tip top at prime level. Their careers are over. A wide receiver can go up to about 6, 7, or 8 good solid years. So which means that, you know, if we had to make a choice between Pickens and CD, it'll probably be Pickens because he's younger. He's 3 years younger. But I don't want to make that decision. I don't want that to come to that because I want them both. We need them both here. We got an aging quarterback. We got 2 whippersnapper, young, badass wide receivers. Let's keep moving forward. Just don't go back. But anyway, I'm going to be getting off here. I've got my time in, and I wanted to just touch base and say, no, just calm down, folks. Yeah, it looks bad that he's not at OTAs, but I don't think this is nothing that we didn't expect. We knew the other players are going to sign their players. Other teams are going to sign their players. We knew this. And the one thing that I can honestly kind of respect out all this is the Cowboys ain't bullshitting nobody. They told them what they were going to do, and this is what they're doing. I think it's wrong that they're doing it, but they did say, hey, this is what we're doing it. This is how we're going to do it. And we can still hold on to the fact that they can probably still fix this come by July 15th. So I'm going to leave it there. Until next time, you know what it is. We still them boys. Have a good one.